Hey guys, Joe here from XFoxGames, and man, I had a super blast at my local Nerf Meetup. There's about 40 people there. It was ridiculous. It was my very first one, and I have a lot of stuff that I want to cover, so, you know, strap on in. I'll try to do this as quick as possible, but the first things first, man, it was an absolute blast. I met some friends there. I brought some people. And, you know, the Nerf ranges range from people who have played, people who haven't played, adults, teens, kids. So I kind of brought a mixture of stuff. And if you guys go check out the video, that's why I brought a lot of stuff, because I wanted to make sure I had a mixture for kind of everybody who is going to be there in my little crew. And since this was my first one, I really didn't know what to expect. I did watch a few videos online, and what was crazy is a few people asked me, how did you know about this meetup and gathering? So I actually contacted a blaster maker, Meeker, and he was like, hey, you should really join this Discord. And it was for the Pacific Northwest crew, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like-minded people, you know, a lot of big YouTubers who are here are in that, and I was like, my gosh, I'm lucky to be in such an area where there's a lot of you know, big Nerf YouTube people that I'm like, man, I watch their videos all the time. And anyways, I looked at that and they're like, hey, there's gonna be a big game, and it's about an hour away from me, which isn't too bad. So I was like, hey, let's go to this thing and let's see what happens. So that's how I learned from it. I really got some good pictures of, you know, Sergeant Deplorable, Captain Xavier, which is awesome. They're the ones who put this thing on. Again, I thank those guys. Man, they put on a great event here. This thing is just, I cannot say enough of them. I went and thanked them after. Again, a big thank you to you guys. So I knew how I found about it. One of the things that I noticed is, since I knew there was going to be a lot of different people there, you know, I don't want to say I'm a huge channel, but it is definitely growing. And a lot of times I get a lot of product where I buy 2 of something and I review 1 and I still have it in the box. So I brought about 5 or 6 blasters that I wanted just to give away to people who might be new to the sport. And, you know, after playing for about an hour, I noticed some kids, there was 2 kids that, you know, it looks like they came with their grandma. Sorry if you're watching this. I didn't get your names, but you know who I'm talking about. She did come up and thank me after, but I gave the kids 4 different blasters. I believe it was a curve shot, a Nerf Saturn, and 2 other, I believe it was a Siege. So I gave them about 4 brand new in the box blasters and said, look, hey, you know, enjoy, because they had some blasters that I wouldn't want to say weren't quite up to par, but hey, with some of these new different blasters, maybe we'd get them into the sport. So I gave them, and thank you again if you're watching this. I appreciate, you know, you guys being able to take those. I know it's kind of weird. I went up and I was like, hey, do you want some blasters? But I hope you guys are enjoying those. You guys were, you know, super cool to kind of play with. And there's another individual, CK, who sat with me. You can check him out here. I don't know if he watches the channel, but, you know, I know he was feeling a little bit under the weather, and he was sitting at my the little area that I had, and we kind of chatted a little bit. He had, I believe, a roundhouse and a Hades, and for some of the games, you know, most people were using like Nexus Pros and things like that, and I was like, hey, you know what? Come here. Let me have you try something, because he was looking at some of my blasters that I had out, because I had extras that not my whole crew was using, and I was like, look, and I actually gave him a brand new Nexus Pro, and he was out there blasting that thing, and he was using a few of my mags. So I'm happy that he actually came out. I think he left a little bit early because, again, he was feeling under the weather. So you enjoy that Nexus Pro. You left the box, so I had to throw the box away, but still. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that. Now, I know, and again, I forgot, I had so many names to remember. I shook your hand. I believe I talked to your wife. I know you said you used to live out in this area and you came down. It was nice meeting you. I gave you the, was it the blue and yellow XFB1? I brought one of those to give away. I hope you enjoy that thing. Again, thank you for watching my content and just coming up and saying hi. You know, I didn't go out here and announce, hey, I'm XFoxGames, guys. No, I just came as Joe. And just gave stuff away because, you know, I want to see people enjoy the sport. And I know I'll see you more, but you know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I also quickly wanted to talk about some of the blasters that I brought and how I felt during the gameplay that I had from my own personal experience. Now, our cap was 150 mostly, and I just quickly wanted to go over some of these blasters and how they performed and what I'm going to change next time. So there was a few matches where you can only have 1 dart in the breach at one time. And you could use like a Worker Phoenix if you wanted to, but you had to take out the mag, stick 1 in there, and then go. But man, I'll tell you right now, this XFKO shooting right about 140, 150, this was an absolute driller. This thing was, man, this thing was great for that. You know, a single load, fire, and go. This thing, whew, it was so good during that gameplay. During regular gameplay, probably not. But the single shot, man, this was an absolute bruiser. This is serial number 001. I thought I lost it. I couldn't find it. And I was like, oh, it was buried under everything. So, man, if anybody else has the games like that, where you can just have a single loaded, just one in the chamber at all times, man, this thing is an absolute blast. Now, the Worker Phoenixes, these shot roughly about 144, 140, 150 right out of the box on a 3S, and these work great. The stock one here without the MOSFET was okay. It is just hard sometimes when you turn it up. It's either full auto or nothing, and it's hard if you turn it all the way up to just try and shoot once and not have it shoot two. So you can dial it down, but still, I pretty much recommended or stopped using this and pretty much primarily was using the one with the MOSFET board. This way you can dial it, and I had it where I had it on single shot, and then of course had it where you can shoot 2 on every single trigger pull. This one by far for me is so much better than the stock because you have that controllability when it comes to shooting. Now, if you guys want to review any of this stuff or check out the reviews, check it out here. We did a review on all this stuff. So yeah, this thing was an absolute powerhouse. This thing is so good. I know there are a few of you guys too who asked me about these suppressors. Yes, probably this week I'm going to make a few more. There's a few more mods I want to make on the inside to make it a little bit thinner. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to sell those things because there's been like 4 or 5 of you that ask, and I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I keep building other stuff. The MK3 here, now, whew, these were running on 2S. So 2S puts you down at about 130-ish FPS. I've seen some people out there running on 3S, which is kind of strange because anytime I put this on 3S, it was upwards of 160. So I don't know how they're doing that, but I had all of my crew when I use these run on 2S to be well below that FPS mark. But these things, guys, for new kids, experienced players, this is great. I stuck it on single and just had them go, and it worked every single time. Great, phenomenal. They use these a lot. This is long-winded. The Nexus Pro. This is great. Now, this is the same thing. Some of the people out there were using the Nexus Pros stock out of the box, and that's strange. All 3 of the Nexus Pros that I had were shooting like 160, 165 out of the box. I had to get the out of the darts spring as well as the tuner here to get it to shoot around 130. So I don't know how some of those people were shooting, 165-ish with the stock. And even someone was telling me, they were like, yeah, we just grabbed ours out of the box and they shoot 150. So maybe theirs does. I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of means of deviation there, but still, these things worked absolutely great. Kiddo broke my suppressor that I had on there, but they love these things. They're accurate, they're quiet, they're fun, they're light. The Striker, whew, they love this thing too. I don't know if it's like the sniper look. I don't know. I don't know why they loved it so much, but this thing shot around 140-ish, and they love this thing. I only have one of them. The other one's in pieces, but still, this shot great. The Lightning Bug. This thing was also another favorite, between people who were trying it. I had a few people actually want to try this, and it just shot good. On 2S, this thing shoots about 140, and that's awesome. It uses those bigger flywheels, and I feel like it's very, very accurate for how small it is and how compact it is. This thing is freaking great. I think the biggest thing that surprised me in the last one of all these is going to be the Nightingale. This shoots with the high-powered version about 125 FPS. This thing is super light. There's no rev trigger. You just pull. It is snappy from when you pull and go. And the mags, since they were so small, I mean, I was able to fit a lot of them in there, and I was able to run so fast and shoot and go. When you kind of look at me here, I wasn't using the Nightingale there, but hey, that's just me doing my thing. Man, it was amazing. There was one individual here. He had 2 of these things, and man, sometimes I was just like, man, I was just in awe. I'm like, oh, look at those things. They look so great. But this thing for me was really good. It is so light but so snappy that I was able to really, come out from trees really quick or run really fast and just point and shoot, comparison to something like this where, right, this is kind of unwieldy, but this for me was nice at medium to long range. This was pretty good except for long range, but still can shoot pretty far at long range. Now, overall, guys, it was an absolute blast to meet a bunch of people that I have watched videos for and everything for a long time. Meet some people who I thought were really good at the sport. I would watch. I took a ton of photos. I took a ton of video. but just watching some of the people and how they play, their loadouts, their movement, gave me a lot of different ideas about how I want to go moving forward, which is going to be awesome. Now, I know some of you guys are probably seeing this too. This is our XFCB, our CB crossbow. It's not all the way done. I still have a bunch of stuff that I want to do on here, but this is very similar to our XFB one, the bungee blaster. I did reveal this. Well, kind of, I had it on the table that, you know, I was like, hey, let's make a crossbow version of our other version. And this one's gonna shoot roughly about 80 FPS, somewhere right in there. But I have a lot of stuff that I've been working on. You know, I've been working on different bigger wheels. I've been working on kind of making this whole top part static, and then you have like a slot that you pull back here. There's a lot of different ideas, but you know, I wanted to give this away, but it wasn't fully polished yet. There's so much more that I wanna do on this thing before I release it. But I just kind of wanted to talk about it here at the end of the video because I don't know how many people are making it here. But look, guys, overall, it was an absolute blast. I thank everybody who put that event on. I am super pumped. Kids are super pumped on it, and I know exactly what to bring next time. Probably a Mega XL shooter to break those shields. Evan, I don't know if you watch this thing. Evan, I swear, you chopped me up 30 times. No matter what I could do, I couldn't get past your shield. So next time I'm gonna be ready for you. So hopefully you watch my videos. If not, maybe one day you'll see this stuff. But man, guys, I had a blast playing with every single one of you guys. You guys rock. Oh, and Nerf Talk, before I forget. Oh my gosh, Nerf Talk. Yes, I did get Captain Xavier's signature. I got Deplorable signature. I did not get Flux's signature. Flux, I don't know if you watched this either. You know, I know it's Father's Day, whatever you're doing. Hope to meet you at one of these here soon so you can sign up for good old Nerf Talk. But he is definitely someone I want to meet in person because he seems like a really cool guy. But overall, everybody I met there was awesome. Everybody that I met was awesome. I didn't run into one person that you know, had a bad attitude. Everybody was great. You know, whether you were a kid, a real small kid, an adult, I had a blast with everybody. But anyways, I can go on for this forever, but I gotta get rid of some of this stuff, undo my batteries and everything. But man, I appreciate it, everybody. Hopefully you watch this whole long video. Hopefully I'll post some of the footage of the video and the stuff, you know, and stuff like that here in a little bit. But man, I got a lot of stuff to put away. Thanks again, Fox fans.